This is Quiet Conversations with Jada Raquel. Shh.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Quiet Conversations podcast. And if you're new here, thank you for tuning in. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. As you can see, we have video content, okay? We have a video version of the podcast. A lot of people have been DMing me, writing me personally, emailing me, talking about when are you going to have a video version of the podcast. So here we are. Here you go. If you are new here, please catch up and listen to season 1, all 7 episodes. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. And let's get into season 2. So today is the first episode of the podcast. And the title today is Date Them Books. And the topic is about growing up with parents that taught you how to be hyper independent, that took away from our femininity. That also, they didn't teach us how to date properly, and they also didn't really teach us how to rely on our community, only to rely on ourselves, which caused us to be hyper independent. So if you like that topic, if you feel like that's interesting, let's get into the episode. So the name of this podcast, as you've seen, is Date Them Books. And the reason why it's Date Them Books is because the topic is the hyper independence we were taught to have. I have my notebook here. Okay, I have my notebook here, which helps me get through each podcast. So just bear with me, okay? So the topic is the hyper independence we were taught to have, hardened us, and took from our femininity. Our parents didn't teach us how to date, and we also were taught to get everything on our own and to also not depend on anyone for anything. It's a loaded topic, obviously, because it's going to be a loaded conversation. So let's get into a story time. Let's get into the story time that relates to the topic, and then I'll go into parts 1 through 3 like I usually do, and then we'll go into the episode. So I was in the 3rd grade, and I had a really good friend. His name was Tawab. He was so smart. Tawab, if you're listening, I hope that you work in IT, tech. I hope that you made it. I hope that you are a billionaire, because that kid was so damn smart. We were in the 3rd grade, and he was doing high school math. So, yeah. So, Tawab was a really good friend of mine. He used to help me with my math homework and math work when we were in school. And we used to walk home together. And I'm from New York, so walking home by yourself after school, that's a thing. So we used to walk home together or walk halfway or whatever. And one day we were walking home from school, and he told me that he liked me. And obviously I'm in the 3rd grade and I didn't know what to do. So I ran home, and my mom was home, or I remember her being home, and I told her. And like, yeah, I love my mother. I love my mom, obviously. And she turned around and she looked pissed, and she turned around and she told me, "You need to tell him that you're too young for that. You need to be focused on your books." Hence the title, Date Them Books. And love my mom to death, but I felt like I was in trouble for telling her that someone liked me. And now that I'm older, I feel like she could have used that as a teaching moment to be like, Jada, like, you're a little too young to like be thinking about boys right now, but it is a natural thing for people or of the opposite sex to like you. But I need you to focus on your school right now. Like, you're a little too young to date. Dating is da 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 da. Sometimes the opposite sex are attracted to one another because XYZ, to kind of like explain it in a 3rd grade version, right? But she was just like, "You're too young for that. Tell him you're too young for that. Go do your homework." And maybe she was mad that day. Maybe her boss pissed her off. Maybe someone pissed her off. Not saying that she was projecting, but, maybe she just did not want to hear that. Like, I don't want to hear that. Now I got to figure out what you about to eat for dinner. Like, I don't want to hear that as a parent. So I get it. But like as an adult now, I'm just like, damn, you know, she could have taught me a little lesson in that moment and taught me like what it is when someone likes you. And I feel like going forward, I took that, like, you don't need to be focused on that right now. You need to be focused on your schoolwork line that my mom told me. And I kind of ran with that. Like, okay, this is not something that I should tell my mom about, which is like dating in general. And the only thing I need to be focused on is my schoolwork through and through. Nothing in between. Schoolwork is the goal. Good grade. Schoolwork is the thing to do. Good grades is the goal. College, job. Like that's what it kind of like resonated with me. How it resonated with me. So yeah, so today we're going to be talking about that. Like parents teaching you to be hyper independent, not really giving you, I don't want to say the rundown, but yeah, the rundown of dating as a teen, dating as a preteen, what to look out for. So in part one, I'm going to talk about coming from a West Indian household, what that means, what that looks like for people that did not grow up with West Indian parents from the Caribbean. Part two is called lack of, and lack of different things within the Black community when it comes to dating, etc., etc. Part three is relearning everything to date currently. So let's get into the episode. So yes, part one is coming from a West Indian household. Shout out to us. Shout out to the kids that survived because we made it. Okay? Growing up in a West Indian household is not for the weak. And it's like the best thing. You get what I'm saying? Like it's the best thing, especially like if your parents shift you to the Caribbean for the summer, which mine did. It's the best and the worst thing because like you get the experience, you know your culture, you're deep dived in, like you're growing up with everything that the same tactics that your parents grew up with, but that could be a good and a bad thing. So like your parents are a little bit harsher, like there's no gentle parenting, whatever the hell that is. Like there is none of that. You get what I'm saying? And you know, like my parents, I don't want to say my parents are harsh, but my parents are very cut and dry. And I think I'm very cut and dry because of that. So there's no sugar coating anything. You crying, what you crying for? I'm gonna give you something to cry. But I remember one time I accidentally walked into a wall because I wasn't paying attention, and my mom turned around and said, "Good." And my father was in the corner laughing. Like it's just like it's not meant for the weak. You get what I'm saying? Like they're very cut and dry. Do what you got to do because I'm doing what I have to do because I brought you into this world. So you better be doing what you got to do before I take you out. It's just that simple. Like it's really just that simple. So like when I talk to friends that are American, it seems like we all have the same experience. So I guess all Black people kind of grew up the same. But like when it comes to like relating this to the topic, like you have to also think about how our parents were raised. They probably was raised worse than how we were raised in terms of harshness, criticizing, being like taught certain things, their parents being harder on them about their schoolwork, about their career, about their certain things that they had to like get done. And you know, like when I think about the topic that I'm talking about, like being hyper independent, like I think about my mom, like she didn't have a choice but to be hyper independent because she had a baby young, and which means she had to figure it out based off the choices that she made. But also like my grandmother passed when my mom was 19, which means like you don't really have a choice but to become hyper independent because now you don't really got your moms. You get what I'm saying? Like I am 28, my mom is still here, thank you Jesus. But it's like my mom didn't have her mom. So it's like who is teaching you how to date as a teen, as a young adult, if your mom is not here to kind of guide you? Yeah, she had aunts, but it's different coming from your mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, and your father, to be honest, is not teaching you how to date. And then like my dad now is like, he was young and wild. Like he's not teaching his daughter, which is me, how to date, because I'm pretty sure no one taught him how to date. Pretty sure no one taught him how to date. how to treat a woman, how to court a woman, what to do, what not to do, red flags that you may have. That's another topic for another day. But a lot of the stuff that they taught me did, in a good way, did teach me like being independent. There's nothing wrong with being independent, and how independence can get you where you need to go in terms of, okay, you're not relying on anyone to get you where you need to be. You're doing what you got to do. You're making your own money. You're making plans for yourself to set yourself up in society, which I really appreciated from my parents. But also within those teachings, I also became hyper independent, which means I'm not relying on anyone for anything. I don't even rely on my parents for anything, which is insane to me because they're my parents and I should be able to like go to them for everything or anything. But it's like, in my mind, it's like, I'm an adult now. I'm good. I shouldn't have to, but why shouldn't I want to? Like, not saying that I ever went through this, but I could be struggling and be like, it's my job to figure it out. And it's like, girl, you're 28. If you need $5, ask your parents. Not saying that I ever came into that situation at this age, but yeah, like those teaching kind of programmed me to like figure it out, because if no one was here, you would still have to figure it out. So it doesn't even make sense for me to like rely on anyone, including my parents. When I think about stuff like that, I go into, why do I feel like that? Why is that the reasoning? What is the reasoning behind me wanting to always be hyper independent? Because that trickles down into like a red flag. Because girl, like, you're gonna have to ask for help eventually. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic is because I wanted to bring light and shed light into like the negative aspects of being hyper independent. Because sometimes it's okay to rely on your community. It's okay to rely on your partner if you are in a relationship. It's okay to rely on your parents. Talking to myself, hello. It's okay to rely on your siblings if you need to. And also, it's okay to be independent as well and having to rely on yourself for certain things, but also using the community that you have if you've used all measures, if you exhausted all measures and you now need to rely on community, you should be able to, and you should feel comfortable to do so. So that's really why I wanted to talk about this topic today, because I know a lot of Caribbean women, a lot of immigrant kids, as myself, we like, and even like any and everybody, like, we come from a background of women and men that really made it out the mud and really turned nothing into something beautiful. And they taught us hard work and dedication, but that also trickled down into like a lack of awareness when it came to us being hyper independent and learning how to ask for help and learning how to say like, can someone help me in this moment? Like, I'm struggling, because that is okay to say. So yeah, let's get into part 2. Before we go into part 2, I also want to talk about like how hyper independence takes away from your femininity. Like, real quick, boys, skip a little bit. Like, girl, you do not have to do everything. And why would you want to? First of all, like, I remember I seen a girl say on TikTok, I need a man for something. And when I say I need a man for something, that doesn't mean my partner, okay? Father, uncle, brother, cousin from down the block, friend from up the block, homeboy on the block, somebody, some man to help me lift up this big ass box, some man to help me put something together because I don't feel like reading instructions. I'm just a girl. You think I'm about to break my nail to prove that I can do any and all things? Baby, I know I could put this box, this thing together, but I don't want to. Okay? I know I could lift this up because I be in the gym and I be getting in this work, but I don't want to. I'm just a girl. Hello? So like, girl, when it comes to that, ease up, because it's taken away from your femininity. Let's be a soft girly, okay? Like, and not the soft girl trend that's going around TikTok, please. Talking about like, a man that could lift up this box, let him do it. A man that's in the house that could bring these groceries in, let him do it. A man that's sitting at home that could probably mow the lawn, let him do it. Yeah, you can do it, But why would you want to? Because I don't. Oh, because I don't. Hello? Hello? Like, even the small things. I don't want to do it. So a man is going to do it. I can lift up the pack of water. Am I going to do it? No. I'm going to call my brother. You do it. You're a man. Put them strengths to work. Hello? Let's get into part two. Part two is called Lack of. And within this part, we're talking about white dating culture versus black. We're talking about dating lessons and how to be courted, what flags to look for, both red and greens, what to accept and expect, and then also how healthy male presence contribute to healthy relationships. So let's get into it. A long time ago, me, my best friend, and her mom were discussing the difference between white dating culture versus black. And we came to like a consensus that like a lot of these white girls, like they know exactly what they want. Their timeline is like the same. Like each and every single one of them, their timeline is the same. So it's basically they meet their partner in college, they date the entire time they're in college. Once they graduate, they're engaged. 2 years into an engagement, they're married, they have kids, everything's great. And, you know, compared to black dating culture, it's a little different. It's a little bit, you meet your partner whenever, maybe in college, maybe not. You date for a while, and then you eventually get engaged and you get married. If that, maybe not. Most likely you will. And, you know, we spoke about that. We spoke about the difference in dating culture, we spoke about why that is and what contributes to black women not getting the same as them within the same time frame. But I do believe that that reason is because like we weren't really taught how to date. Like our parents don't teach us how to date. Our parents don't tell us and sit us down and ask us, is anybody interested? Are you interested in anybody? You know, like, is there anybody in school that you might have your eye on? And kind of like give us the breakdown or the rundown of like things to do, things to not do, things to look out for. If a boy is doing this to you, or if a boy is saying this to you or acting a certain way towards you, you should not, that's not somebody that likes you, or that's someone that probably does like you and he's scared to say it. Or vice versa. If a girl is saying this to you, she probably does like you. Do you like her back? You should get her something for Valentine's Day. You should maybe, you know, you should tell him that you like him, etc., etc. Like, I feel like, especially in movies, like movies really show in white rom-coms, they really show like the you know, the 16-year-old going out for their first date and the dad is mad and the mom is showing her what to do, what to say, what not to, what to say. And like in black movies, they don't really show that. Not saying that doesn't happen in real life, but like they don't show that to see that exists. And in real life, that didn't happen to me. I don't know if that happened to my best friend, but it's like, I feel like if we're taught that, we kind of would be like, okay, so this is what I should look out for, what I shouldn't look out for, because we was just winging it. Okay, we was just winging it. And I feel like if you kind of get an idea of what you like and what you don't like at an early age, you kind of could contribute that in college. So you know exactly what you're looking for by the time you like are ready to get engaged. And I don't think you should get engaged at all when you graduate college. You're like a child, FYI. So yeah. And I also feel like healthy male presence at a young age to see what you want in a man. This is not for the men listening. As a woman, I'm pretty sure growing up seeing healthy male like presence and seeing how a man should treat a woman lets you know like, okay, this is what I want from a man. Because growing up, I realized what I don't want in a man. Do with that information as you will, okay? Like, I realized what I don't want in a man, how I want to be treated. But if I seen the healthy version, I could be like, okay, Maybe I can rely on a man for something. Maybe I can rely on my community for something. This is what healthy presence of a man looks like. I can't wait to get some of that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't really get that. But I also feel like when you see healthy male presence, you all, not even in a relationship type, I also feel like in your mind, you could be like, okay, I would love for a man, I can now ask a man to help me with something. Because sometimes I feel like if you see negative presence all the time, you're just like, it's okay. I got it. I'm not about to ask nobody for nothing. I got it. So let's get into part 3. So part 3 is relearning everything to date correctly. So I am in a relationship, whoop whoop, and when my boyfriend always used to tell me like, yo, I can help you with XYZ. I can help you. I can help you. I can help you. I'm obviously, based off the topic, I'm very much, I got it. It's okay. I got it. It's okay. I had to learn to ask for help within my relationship. That's fine to say, like, and I'm happy that I eventually got to a space where I can ask for help because, like I said before, I don't want to do everything. I am not a strong, independent Black woman. I'm asking for help. I am not strong, and I hate when people put that label on me because, hello, I'm strong in the gym, and that's it. That's it. I'm not a strong, independent Black woman. I'm independent in my own way, but I'm not hyper independent. Do not put that label on me. Use that information as you will. But I used to say in my mind, like, I don't need a man for anything. And that goes not just my partner, just any man. Like, I used to say that. But now it's like, okay, I can't ask my brother for help. I can't ask my uncle for help. I can't ask any man in my presence for help, my partner as well, to do things for me and not feel like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have asked him, or damn, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Nah, because yes, I should have asked for help. And I feel like you should as well. We as women, especially Black women, need to get out of this struggle culture of, I can do everything on my own. I'm going to help everybody that I can. We're going to help so much people. We not helping ourselves, and we going to end up in that damn grave. Absolutely not. I do not want that for you. Learn to ask for help. And this is both men and women, because I was talking to my boyfriend about the topic today, and he mentioned that a lot of Black men also don't know how to ask for help. A lot of Black men are also hyper independent. And we need to be talking about these things because it's okay if you are comfortable with somebody, and I'm talking to Black men and Black women, if you're comfortable with somebody to express to them like, yo, like, I'm struggling right now, like, I need help in this area. I don't know how to fix the solution. Can you help me? Like, asking for help goes a long way, because sometimes you don't realize the person that you are comfortable asking for help, they probably could do that thing that you're struggling with in 2 seconds. 2 milliseconds. Little quick story time. When I met my boyfriend, I was struggling with my math homework. Yes, I was. I am not a math girly. I am a right side of the brain girly. I was struggling with my math homework, and I had just met him. I said, can you please help me with this math? Like, and he was so excited to do it. Like, not excited because he liked me, excited because he genuinely enjoys doing math problems. Like, it makes him excited still to this day. If somebody hands him a math problem, he's excited that it challenges him. He's a psycho. But what took me, I was struggling. What took me hours to even try to figure out, it took him 10 minutes. And that's exactly what I mean. Like, some Black men are struggling with the load on them because of problems that they don't know solutions to, when they could just ask someone that they're comfortable with, hey, can you help me with XYZ? Hey, can you at least hear me out? I hope that this episode taught you a lot about being hyper independent. I hope it kind of opened up your eyes to hyper independence. I don't really tell people what to do on this podcast if this is new, your first time listening. I kind of like want you to get self-aware on certain things that you may or may not be doing. So, like, if you're hyper independent, I hope this podcast helped you realize that maybe I am hyper independent. Maybe I don't ask for help. Maybe I should start asking for help if I feel like I'm stressing about certain things that I can't handle by myself. Like, I hope that this episode opened your eyes to that. And Black men listening, I hope you start asking for help. Black women, I hope that you get your heart's desires. I hope that you reel in the hyper independence, you lean into that femininity, like you meet the man or the woman of your dreams and have the love that you so well deserve. And same to Black men too. Like, I hope that you get your heart's desires, and I hope that you start becoming more vulnerable with your partners. And yeah, I hope this taught you a lot. Think about any topics or things that you might want me to talk about or discuss or bring light to or shed light to. Think about some of the things that your parents may have did or didn't teach you about dating that you then had to teach yourself. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for listening to the first episode of season 2 of the Quiet Conversations podcast. Please catch up on season 1. Follow us on TikTok, on Instagram. Please follow us and subscribe on YouTube, as this is where this video version of the episode will be. Please make sure that you download, you rate, you like, you subscribe, all of that on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. Thank you again so much for listening. I appreciate you for tuning in. Bye.